So let's talk about what it means to really test a building's security. I'm not talking about paperwork or checking boxes on a form. I'm talking about what happens when someone smart and determined is actively trying to get past your defenses. Think about your own workplace for a second. You've probably seen those giant binders full of security policies, right? Rules for everything under the sun. But let's be honest, a policy written on a piece of paper has never actually stopped a real threat. So the big question is, does your security actually work in the real world? Or does it just look good in a report? And this slide really gets to the heart of it. A security audit is kind of like an open book test. An auditor comes in, asks, do you have a policy against tailgating? You show them the document, and you get a check mark. It's all about compliance. A red team, on the other hand, doesn't ask. They just show up and actually try to tailgate an employee into the building. That checks for effectiveness. It's the huge difference between having rules and seeing if those rules actually produce results.
Now, you can't just hire a team to go break into your building without setting some serious ground rules. A professional operation is meticulously planned, and every single mission starts with a detailed briefing.
The entire operation is governed by a supercritical document called the Rules of Engagement, or the ROE. You can think of this as the legal and safety framework for the whole mission. Its job is to make sure the test finds all the weaknesses without causing any actual damage, getting anyone hurt, or, breaking the law.
So what's actually in this ROE? Well, it boils down to three really key things. First is the scope. This defines what's fair game. The server room might be inbounds, but the CEO's personal office? Yeah, that's probably off limits. Second, and this is a big one, no destruction. The motto is literally, pick the lock, don't break the window. The goal is to find flaws, not create them. And finally, there's a safety stop word. If a guard corners a team member, a specific phrase like exercise, exercise, exercise immediately ends the simulation and prevents things from escalating.
But what happens if things go really, really wrong? What if the guards don't recognize that stop word and the police are already on their way? For that, there's one last emergency failsafe.
And it is basically a get-out-of-jail-free letter. A red teamer keeps this hidden, and it is only used as an absolute last resort. We're talking they're in handcuffs and things have gone sideways. It's signed by the CEO, and it has a number to call to verify that this is an authorized test, not a real crime.
Okay, with the rules established, we get to the really cool part, the toolkit. Let's take a look at the kind of gadgets and deceptive tricks these teams use to find their way inside.
First up, we have badge cloning. This is a classic digital attack that happens in the physical world. It's actually shocking how many offices still use older, unencrypted RFID access cards. And because they're basically just shouting a number into the air, they can be copied without the owner ever knowing it happened. And just look how simple this process is. An attacker just needs to get close to an employee, maybe in a crowded elevator or standing in line for coffee. A small device, hidden in their bag, a Proxmark 3, wirelessly copies the card's data from about a foot away. The employee feels absolutely nothing. Later, the attacker just writes that copied data onto a blank card, and just like that, they have a perfectly working key to the building.
But it's not always about the high-tech gadgets. Sometimes, the most expensive electronic security systems can be totally defeated by some really simple, low-tech physical tricks.
Check out this thing, the under-door tool. If there's even a small gap at the bottom of a door, an attacker can slip this shaped wire right through, hook the handle on the inside, and just pull it down. The door opens. It is incredibly simple and, let me tell you, surprisingly effective. Or how about this clever trick? A lot of secure doors have a thermal sensor on the inside that unlocks the door when it detects body heat. It's called a request-to-exit sensor. Well, by spraying a can of compressed air upside down through a gap, you create this blast of intense cold. That rapid change in temperature is actually enough to fool the sensor into thinking a person is there. You hear a click, and the door just unlocks. So we've seen the gadgets, we've seen the tools, but the most reliable, most common vulnerability in any system isn't the lock or the sensor. Nope, it's us. It's human nature. And that's where things get really fascinating.
These are two of the all-time classics of social engineering. On the left, you've got the box trick. An attacker is walking up to a door, struggling with a heavy box. What do? You hold the door open for them. It exploits our natural instinct to be helpful. On the right, there's the smoker trick. The attacker just blends in with a group of employees on a smoke break, and when they all head back inside, the attacker just walks in with them. Nobody questions it because they just look like they belong there.
So the attacker is in.
They've cloned a badge, bypassed a lock, or just walked right in behind an employee. Mission accomplished, right? Wrong. Getting in is not the point of the exercise. The real work and all the real value comes next.
You see, a red team's real victory isn't the breach itself. It's the detailed report they deliver afterwards. The value isn't bragging, "We got in." It's being able to say, "Here is how we got in," and more importantly, here's how you can stop it from happening again. The entire goal is to provide a clear, actionable roadmap for making things better.
And this is exactly what that value looks like. The report directly connects problems to real solutions. So, they tailgated a delivery truck. The fix is to install a vehicle airlock. They bypassed the server room door with a piece of plastic. The fix is to put simple latch guards on critical doors. They cloned a receptionist dash. The fix is to upgrade to modern encrypted cards. Every single simulated failure is transformed into a real-world security win.
Ultimately, this whole thing comes back to one simple idea. You can have the best technology in the world, the most expensive locks and cameras, but security is a chain, and it's only ever as strong as its weakest link. And more often than not, that link is human. So the real question to take away from all this is, who's holding the door open for you?